Hello, everybody. Oh my God, it's been a while. Yeah, I've been incredibly busy, but I think now I'm finally at a point where we can reasonably do a stream without having to worry about getting interrupted in the middle of it. So we're gonna go at it today, and yeah, we got an interesting list to look at. So give me a second here, and we will have us a little talk about this list. So yep, we should be. Yeah, Stream Elements. Oh, that's great. Stream Elements is doing its thing. Yeah, all right. So I think we're posted up everywhere. Great. It has been a while. Yeah, a couple weeks we've been off. I did uh, make time to go and visit at MagicCon Philly, and that was really fun. I had an entire video on that, so hopefully you guys got to watch that. I thought, yeah, it was a really interesting little slice of con life. I managed to meet up with Nikachu. Yeah, we had some really good times. Here we go. Nikachu managed to actually play a bunch of Merfolk games with my foiled out deck list, and he also brought me. Oh God, I don't know how well you can see it, but this neat little altar that he did for me, which is cool. It was Maple from the Legend of Zelda, the Oracle games. I think Oracle of Seasons is very, very close with Link to the Past for my favorite Zelda game, so that was kind of cool. Yeah, it was a great time. We got to meet a bunch of people there. Yeah, I would definitely recommend if you've never been to a MagicCon, you should go at least once. So yeah, otherwise, yeah, we had the charity drive that was going on, which I'm still waiting for Solarian Community College to send me out where the prize is going. Which yeah, they had said that it was probably going to be at least another week or two before that information went out. So as soon as I get it, the prize will find its way to its owner. And other than that, yeah, I've just been really busy with work, and I wanted to stream last week, and literally as I was about to get set up to do it, I got a call that I had to go and deal with something. So I didn't want to do streams where I was going to be interrupted in the middle of it to have to stop and go do stuff and then come back at a later point. I just when I'm playing like this, I really want my attention to be focused in what I'm doing. So that's why we're doing this. But yeah, anyway, I that shouldn't be a problem. I will probably be doing these more on Saturday, Sunday afternoons now because there's no guarantee that I'm necessarily going to have the energy. I'm getting up earlier now during this part of the year, so by the time I get home, it is hard to find the energy to do streaming after that. So we'll probably be more on the weekends from here on out for a while, but we should have our weekly streaming back. So that's where I'm at. And I know it's been a while, but I really do appreciate all the people who have been patiently waiting for the return of the stream. So it's good. I love it. Thank you so much. All right, now let's look at this. I wanted to play something just ridiculous. I chose to play. I put together a list that does not have Svaelun in it, and I feel like it's something that's worth testing. Just because I mean Svaelun is a very fine Magic card, but I wanted to see if we could try a little bit more of an aggressive of an approach. I had thought about also potentially the green Utopia Sprawl Collected Company build. That was something that was on my radar for this week, but I decided to go with this instead. So, yeah, we're gonna keep the curve ridiculously low. So we have our 8/1 drops here, and we're also playing with Phantasmal Image, which Image is just a really fun card. It's both really bad and also really good against stuff like Fury and Solitude. Because if it's on the field first, it's terrible because it will just get picked off easily. but if it comes on the field after them, then it does a fantastic job of clearing the opponent's board. So it's a very high variance card, but I mean, it also copies stuff like Trickster and Harbinger and the Lord. So, I mean, I think it's a really cool card. Like, if we go up against Creativity, Image is a card you copy Archon, and that just ruins their life. Yeah, I think that it's really risky, but it's also really fun, and I wanted to try to play something that was going to be more fun for today. So, I mean, I don't know how it's going to go, but we're going to try it and see how it works. Since we are topping our curve at 2 here, I went down to 19 lands to make room to play all the stuff I wanted. So, other than that, I'm not changing anything else. I wanted to try something a little bit crazy, just a little bit fun. So, oh yeah, well, I am not telling you by any means that it is correct to not play Sfaloon, but I I just want to try stuff. So, I mean, depending on what matches we get, like Sfaloon's not necessary for all the matches. Like if you're up against something like Living End, it's a really like glacially slow card, and or it's not guaranteed to like actually do anything. It's more when you're up against stuff like the Scam deck where or even against like Murktide where you just want to have a little bit of Fury protection, but also like a card drawing engine. If the game is gonna like grind out, Sfaloon is great. If the game is gonna end quickly, Sfaloon is probably really bad. And I feel like against like Amulet Titan, I don't think the card is very good. I often side it out there. So depending on our matches, like this list could perform correctly, but you pray to get 5 4-color matchups in this league because Image shines. Yes, Sfaloon sucks because of Exile. Yeah, well, like I said, Phantasmal Image is super high variance. It depends upon whether you get Image out before their other stuff, or whether they play like Evoke Elementals, and then you just end up copying them with like vialing in Image or something. It can go a lot of ways. So it's in a lot of insanity, and we're gonna try it and see how it goes. Same thing if Scam, like, if their plan is just to, like, turn 1 a Fury, like, okay, if you're on the play and you just play, like, an island and then they do their thing and they turn 1 a Fury, you get to just play a second land and Image their Fury, kill their Fury, and now all of a sudden you have a 3/3 with double strike, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, it gives you a huge amount of back and forth when you're dealing with a lot of these creatures, so it's terrible against a lot of the removal, but I mean, to be fair, most of our creatures are not great against removal. It's particularly bad against stuff like Fury because they'll pick up so much extra value off it. Same thing with like Ren and 6, they'll pick it up. But again, you copy something like an Archon with it, well, you just went from probably losing to probably winning. So yeah, it is very risky, but very fun. So I like playing with Phantasmal Image just because it's a fun card. And we are also playing a list that has 12 lords in it, and now Phantasmal Image is like an extra potential 3 lords. So anytime that you're looking to top deck a lord and just win the game, well, Image is going to help with that. See, game 2, your opponent did that at the RCQ and you won. If they know that we're Merfolk, it's a super bad play to go turn 1 Fury, untap Dismember. Yeah, like, well, that is true. But I mean, even if you grief them, like, that's still not bad either. Okay, so let's see. This hand looks fine. We're gonna keep it. They're keeping 7. Okay. So they're on the play. Botanical Sanctum. What the fuck plays Botanical Sanctum in this format? I don't actually know. Is this like a Neo brand deck or something? I guess it could be like Rhinos or something. That would make sense. I don't know if they have like Mystical Dispute or something, but I guess there's no harm in playing the Cavern of Souls here. Oh, it's living. Oh, yeah, of course it's living in. Okay, well, we have a Force of Negation and a Hexcatcher, so there's, like, no fucking chance that they're going to win this game. Yeah, alright, I'm not worried about this whatsoever. Like, next turn... Yeah, we might use Tide Shaper on one of their lands. Grief? Ooh, that sucks. Well, there's nothing we can really do about Grief. He's gonna take away one of our cards, so it means we probably have to aggressively play the Hexcatcher. Okay, I mean, I think they're gonna take this. They'll leave us with Force so they can try to combo on our turn. I feel like they have to take this. This is the only card that makes sense. Yeah. So I mean, that kind of sucks. They have a fetch land here, so our best play is to probably Tide Shaper this Botanical Sanctum. That's not bad at all. Oh, you know what? That is also an idea. We could play the Tide Shaper and Dockhand them so they can't combo this turn. I like that play a lot. Good call. All right. So attack first. No, we're not attacking. We just go to second main phase and we'll just play this Tide Shaper. No, we're not attacking. Just kidding. We just discussed why that would be terrible here. Yeah, we have a stop in the upkeep. What are they gonna do here? Oh, Waker of Waves. Okay, sure. I guess we should probably tap down the Botanical Sanctum. Green mana, I think, is more important for them. Borrower and Dockhand would have definitely sucked for sure. There's only so much you can do. Well, actually, it wouldn't have been that bad because we still could have replayed it. Yeah. No, I guess it still really wouldn't have helped us. So I guess we just play the Otawara here, and then we can hold up Force of Negation. So, okay. They know about the Force though, so they have another Grief that could be bad. However, I don't think we can afford to play around it. I feel like we're okay here. Okay, so I can play the Trickster here and attack them for 5. I still have Force up. I can always pitch the image if they try to outburst. But I have to do it on the end step. So then I can untap and I don't have to put the shields down. Oh, that's pretty good. I guess. Okay, so they're just going to try to double this. Still not actually that bad. Oh, they had their own Force of Negation. That's bullshit. Okay, they just have everything. Oh, well, sure. Like, whatever. You have it. There any... I don't think that there's any chance we can actually win from here. No, they have too much stuff, right? No matter what we draw, this isn't going to be enough. Alright, we lose. We had a really good hand, but they had, like, the actual nuts. They had Grief plus, like, Force of Negation. So, well, it's fine. But we get to bring in more stuff. Like, Game 2 and 3 are like very difficult for us to lose. Image is not terrible. It's not super important though. I think I want to keep the. I could actually. Okay, so I could put it in the graveyard a lot of times. I think Harbingers might be worse. Do it like this. Sure, we have double Hexcatchers and Force. We have to keep it. Like, if they grief, they can take away one thing, but taking away one is not going to be enough. We have to watch out for potentially, like, Mystical Dispute. Sure. It's like, it's not that they can't win, it's just incredibly hard because they need, like, very, very good hands in order to do so, and they had one last game. No, I don't think Subtlety is worth it. Like, the only thing Subtlety interacts with is grief, and that's not really that good by itself. This kind of tells me that maybe they have Mystical Dispute. So, if they do, I think I need to make them do it on their turn. Or just wait until they tap out. If they want to, like, cycle something here, like, then I can play it. We'll probably do the same thing and just get the other one in play as quickly as possible. Just to try to play around Brazen Borrower. That's actually pretty good. I think that's fine. So if they have Borrower, they can bounce this. I mean, they know we have another one, but I don't think I want to commit that just yet. Let's play the Aether Vial. I guess if they don't do anything, maybe I'll flash in the Trickster. Just hit them with this for right now. They are shocking here, so Waker of Waves. Fuck, I forgot. I didn't have the stop set up. That was my fault. I messed that up. I was supposed to flash something in there, and I thought I had the stop set so I'd have priority, but okay, well they're just doing this now. Which means they're gonna be tapped out, so I can just like flash in this thing and just sacrifice one of them. Yeah, and then I can still play this next turn. I guess it worked out. It's fine. Let's get this in play before they can untap and counter it. Subtlety? Okay, but you know that I can just, like, cast it again, right? Oh, no, I can't. Oh, God. No, this is not going to work at all. Yeah, okay, so they are going to, like, living end me next turn. I guess, yeah, no, Subtlety was something I didn't have. I did not think about them having Subtlety, which means maybe I was supposed to play this last turn because I would have drawn it again. That's a mistake that's going to haunt me. I guess I want it on top, but this is gonna hurt. They're gonna get back a lot of shit here. Like, I don't know, like, this. I mean, this was another hand where, like, they had the grief and subtlety in addition to living in, so. Yeah, I could have sacrificed Trickster, but they were at, like, a really high life total, and I was wanting the extra damage, but no, I definitely got a little bit greedy with this, and I did not consider subtlety, and that's my fault. But I guess that's what happens when you're not really playing Magic for a month, so you have to learn these lessons the hard way. They're just gonna grief away the Harbinger, and I don't actually have Island Walk to fight this, so this is gonna be basically impossible to defeat this at this point. Whatever, we're done with this game. All right, well, I mean, they did have really good hands. That was definitely a mistake on my part, but I mean, even if I hadn't made that, like, it was still going to be difficult because they were able to, like, double living end and, like, double disrupt me, and yeah, Island Walk was not really a thing. Ugh, yeah, that's rough. It really sucks when you lose, like, the good matches, but that's life. Sure. We are on the draw again. Yay. I love being on the draw. That's if there's one thing I've learned about Magic, that it's that the draw definitely is not important whatsoever, or the play is not important whatsoever. There's never been any suggestion otherwise. Game is perfectly balanced in that regard. Now there was a period where I went like 200 plus matches where I was like 40% of the time or less on the play, and that was just infuriating. Sure. They look like they're off to a great start. I guess we're playing a Dockhand. Like, I'm not reasonably sure that we're gonna live through this. Like, the worst starts for us are usually the Dragon's Rage Channeler ones, and we don't really have a good way to fight that right now. They're like threatening to just put a Murktide into play. This is interesting. I don't think I have seen them play this card before. There's Ledger Shredder. Are they play? I guess that's for what? Breach, I think. But yeah, there they go. They got their Delver of Secrets online. I guess I'm just playing like. Let's attack with the Dockhand and see what happens. I feel like it's impossible that they don't have another land to play next turn. I could play this as a 2/2. I could try to island this. I have a feeling that turning this into an island isn't going to help that much. I think I'm just playing Dockhands here. This is a way to see what kind of removal we're looking at. They do have a bolt, so yeah, if we played the Tide Shaper, like, they easily would have bolted one. Problem is that when they have, like, turn 1 Channeler and, like, you know, all these baubles and shit, they get to dig very deep in their deck to find all the removal, so sticking creatures is hard. And we might be in a situation where, you know, Murktide is a threat at any given point here, so keeping Trickster up might matter. Yeah, it looks like it's happening. Well, this is the thing. The Dockhands can actually attack them, and then we can try to Trickster this down next turn. I guess if we had a Cavern of Souls, that would be really nice. I don't want to play a Lord here. They have 2 cards left. We just kind of have to hope that they're not counter spells. Or another Murktide for that matter. That would be fucking terrible. I guess let's do this before they draw a card and just hope that there's not another counterspell. Alright. Goodbye, Trickster. Okay. Yep. Yeah, and it sucks because every removal spell they're casting is just digging them deeper into the deck for more. Ugh. Yeah, and we're... They didn't cast anything else, so they didn't play a land, and they didn't cast another spell, which tells me that maybe they're considering cracking the Islet. I think if they had another Murktide, they probably would have played it. And like if they had any more creatures, they probably would have played it. So to me, they probably have like counter spells in their hand. So maybe like Archmage's Charm, Spell Pierce, or actual counter spell. And all of those are really bad for us because if they have actual, yeah, if they have like a counter spell or an Archmage's Charm, this Trickster is not going to resolve, and this Murktide is going to just destroy us. Now, is there... Yeah, and we didn't draw a land. If we had drawn a land, there was a way around that, potentially. Because then in the upkeep, we could have tapped a land to turn off, like, Archmage's Charm. And then, you know, flashed in Trickster in the draw step so that only Counterspell would have been good enough. But with only 2 lands here, if they have, like, any Counterspell, then we're probably going to die. So that in mind, like, Dismember is also very dangerous too. I can't reasonably play this right now. I think I just have to attack and hope that Trickster can buy us another turn. But if Trickster gets countered, the game's over, and it looks very likely to me that they have a counter spell. I can't fathom why they wouldn't have played anything if they didn't. Because it's obviously not lands, or they would have played them. Okay. Oh, they're bolting me. Oh, that's not great. Okay, it's not a cat. So what is it? Maybe like another bolt? This isn't enough to swing this, though. We're going to go to 5, and like this thing is going to kill us. Like, I'd have to draw like a Harbinger or a Trickster this turn. There's only 6 of them. If they have no removal at all, like this could theoretically keep us alive for a turn. but that seems super unlikely. I have to copy Murktide Regent and just hope that's going to be enough. I don't have high hopes for this because, again, they like, yeah, there's a counter spell. The game's over. Like, they did have a counter spell. I guess they probably just found it. So, that was also rough. I mean, I don't think Sveilun really would have helped a lot there either. So, I usually just take out Force of Negation, and this is probably a match where I can take out like a Phantasmal Image. Maybe like Subtlety is slightly better. What else? Like Explosives is not terrible because it blows up all the Dragon's Rage channels, but we also have a lot of 1-drops ourselves, so it's, I don't know, that's a little risky too. Probably Subtlety is better than Image, I think. So we're just gonna do that. Sure, whatever. If they start off with a creature, I can dismember it in turn 1. One of these caverns might end up getting put on elemental, so. If they try to unholy heat this thing, I can flash in Hexcatcher. Okay. They are not interesting. Okay. We might see like Ledger Shredder here. Maybe Expressive Iteration. That's possible. Yeah, there's Shredder. Okay. I mean, that's actually okay because. Sure. He's going to connive. I'm still going to dismember it in my turn. I'm just going to play Lord. Like, this is not terrible for us. Dismember it while they don't have counter magic up. And play the Lord while they're tapped out. Alright, this is going a lot better this game. Like, if they just try to play Murktide, that's not going to do anything. Okay. I mean, they might just have a bunch of bolts in their hand, which would suck, but what are you going to do? Maybe another Shredder? Oh, it is Murktide. Well, I think that this is something we are supposed to subtlety here. Now, this is why we brought this card in. We don't have any cards, and they still have 4, so we need a little bit of help off the top, but that wasn't it. Maybe I can, like, trick him into thinking I have, like, a Trickster or another Hexcatcher. They put Murktide on the bottom, so either they're not confident they can get the graveyard stocked, or they just might have another one. There's a Ledger Shredder. Yeah, there's a Bolt. And they're at 6. That's actually pretty good. They only have 2 cards in hand. I might be inclined to just take a hit off of Ledger Shredder. Ooh, that sucks. Alright, well, I need to definitely Trickster that at the end of turn. Just hope they don't find more removal. They found Unholy Heat. That's not great. Well, that was pretty greedy to just cast that right there. Well, we have to take a hit off of Shredder here, so... and keep up the pressure. Yeah, well, Lord off the top would have only helped us if they didn't find an Unholy Heat, so... I know this stream's probably a few seconds behind. Okay. Attack. However, we're in pretty good shape here, so... I guess we just turn off their ability to draw a card. So right now they have to attack with this. So unless they find either another creature to block or another removal spell, they do die to our board at the moment. So they have 3 cards here, so it depends on how far they can dig in their deck at the moment. You don't have a choice. That has to attack. It's going to be close. It might depend what they draw here. Because if they have a counter spell and like a removal, we're going to get blown out by it. Or Murktide would be pretty bad too. Like, then we need like Trickster for this. Ugh. Okay, yeah, well, okay, so now we need to draw something off the top right now. That should do the trick if they don't have removal, so... if they have it, they have it. Like, Murktide's gonna kill us either way, so... now they have it. Alright. Okay, yeah. Good job, opponent. Nothing we could do about that. We didn't find Chalice to help us at all, but yeah, that was really close. We were super, super close there, which again is frustrating because I feel like that's a match where we should be capable of winning pretty easily. You know, we lost 2 favored matches in a row. That's awful. But I don't feel like Svelun really would have helped much with either of them. It's I don't know. They just had too much disruption. I am more inclined to keep this because I'm on the play. Alright, what do we got? Watery Grave, Ruin Crab. They're gonna die. This is, yeah, we're gonna 1000% dismember that. No, we ain't doing that, fam. Fuck that noise. And this is good because we Violin Tide Shaper and then we can just put in like a Lord. We can also turn this off at their upkeep, so. Swamp means that like Fatal Push is definitely an option. We might have to be concerned about that. They might push it here. They're probably thinking about it real hard. But I think that I'm just gonna Violin Trickster on this crab. Uh, okay, well, I don't really need to play this Lord right now. How much are you willing to gamble on this? Yeah, I didn't think you are actually willing to gamble here. Okay. I guess they could technically counter this, but I think it's still safe to cast Trickster in the upkeep. And then end step Harbinger it. Well, they need pretty much like Spell Snare, and I don't think that they're going to be playing Spell Snare, so. So Crab is offline this turn, and then at the end step we just Harbinger it back. Field of Ruin is not going to do shit for them, so. What are they going to do with this? Jace. Okay. Okay, neat. Jace basically negates one creature a turn, or you can start milling with it. Okay. We do have to be a little bit careful because of stuff like Damnation, so it might not be wise to play super hard into what they're doing right now. I don't know if they main deck them, but it is a thought. I guess I could kill Jace. They have 5 cards. Like, they haven't really milled us at all. And I don't think they have any way of, like, protecting Jace here, so going after Jace seems like that's fine. We'll put our Tide Shaper back online. Probably, yeah, on the end step here, I'll Violin Lord. And, like, that, yeah, that means, like, drawing... If they play the Crab here, then drawing another Lord means we, like, are very winning. But, I mean, yeah, them playing a Crab is, like, pretty bad, I think. It's not doing anything. Cycling Fracture Insanity. Okay, sure. Mill 4. 4 for 2 is not a great rate. You do get the draw, but the swamp still makes it look like maybe Fatal Push is an option here. So I guess I'm going to put the Harbinger in right now, because it still looks like Fatal Push might be what they're holding on to. That's pretty great. Does that mean we win? It's very close. Okay, have Fatal Push or die. They did not have it. Okay. Great. So I think we want Mana Leak here. Force of Negation is really good. Phantasmal Image is pretty bad, I think. Harbinger's not great. Chalice is okay. Engineered Explosives is also okay. It kills off the crabs, but we have Dismembers for them. I don't think they play any other 1-drops. Subtlety is sort of fine, I guess, because it might be okay, actually, because Subtlety does deal with Jace a little bit, but we have counter spells for that. Oh, fuck off. We're the stupid bot nonsense. Nope, get the fuck out of here. Goodbye. Alright, I think that this is probably fine. I'm willing to keep in the Dismembers just to kill off the crabs. Maybe all 4 of them is a little overkill, but I get it. It's okay. This hand's pretty good. We have a nice curve here, and now this should be able to like steamroll them. We're definitely gonna keep. They do have the draw 1 for 3, which is what is it, Visions of Beyond, but yeah, that's also pretty bad. Like, it turns off Fatal Push too. Like, Chalice 1 is not awful. It's definitely like it does stuff because they have Ruin Crab and Hedron Crab, so like maybe there's like 16 spells, but you also have to remember we are playing more 1-drops in our deck now too, so if you I think you only want to be playing the Chalice on 1 like if it's going to like be devastating to them, and I don't think that it's really that necessary. It helps more against the Murktide deck because they're playing a lot of removal and creatures and draw spells at 1. Like, it hits a lot more of their deck and it's a lot more important stuff to them. Whereas here, like, it does hit some stuff, but like they're not like a dysfunctional deck without it. I think I'm supposed to like. I don't know, actually. This is interesting. Should I play this vial? I feel like I might be supposed to flash in Trickster in the end step. I feel like the pressure matters more. Like, if we didn't have other cards like Mana Leak or something, then we could maybe bring in Chalice over that. But I think Mana Leak is a little bit better, so yeah. I think I just flash in Trickster in their end step, and then Vial and Tide Shaper, and then we should be pretty good. Maybe Harbinger gets pitched to a Force of Negation. It's possible. They're not doing anything here. That's fine. Magicus is stuck underwater. Yeah, we're back at this again. We're having a pretty rough day, but sometimes it's like that. A little bit of it was bad luck, and a little bit of it was a miscalculation on my part. So, thank you for subscribing again, though. I really appreciate it, Milker Cream. Okay, they might have something here. I don't really want to counter removal. All right, I think we're just going to attack with these. Maybe Violin Harbinger in the end step. Maybe just Violin Lord of Atlantis. Okay. They're just cycling, sure. If they cast something on their turn, then I might want to, hard cast Force of Negation here. Fatal Push, that's fine. What are you going to do? I don't think you're going to do anything. He's just a friendly old bear. No, we are not taking Vial up. Vial's like never getting ticked up past 2 in this league. Okay, that's pretty good. I feel a little bit safer now about deploying Lord of Atlantis here for this attack. Okay, it looks like they're going to make a move. They should wait until I do something, though. Drown in the Lock. That's fine. They are not going to win this game by doing dumb 1-for-1 removals on me. They have to do better than that. Like, usually they have to, like, cast at least 3 big spells in order to, like, win this game. And they have cast, like, no big spells at all, so. That's also great. Sure. Drown in the Lock, that's fine. Surprise, I have another one. It's also good that they're burning these Drown in the Locks as removal, because it means when they inevitably go to cast their big spell like Jace or whatever, the Force of Negation is much more likely to succeed at countering it. And it looks like they might be making a move here. Alright, what's it gonna be? Yeah, fuck that shit. Do you have another one? No. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. They're like trying to, draw out the counter magic for these dumb removal spells that are just totally worthless against us. We know what the deal is. We've played this game before. So they need to draw like another ensnaring bridge or they're fucked. Alright. Sure. Now, I guess I probably should have used the Cavern of Souls because there's some possibility that, like, I could represent Counterspell. If they have another bridge that they just top deck, that would be terrible, but, like, if their plan is to just Field of Ruin me, that's not going to do anything. They're still dead to the board. I'll just float a colorless just for the hell of it. I'm not going to use... I have the Vial to put the Trickster in play, so I'm not worried about the mana. No Archive Trap here. I guess it doesn't matter if they have one. Okay. You have 2 removal spells. Like, what are you going to do with it? Archive Trap. Okay. That's not enough. Damnation's fine. That's their last card. So Lord off the top kills them instantly. Otherwise, they go to 1 and they have 1 draw to find something. But the odds of them finding something are very low, so... They need removal or bridge in order to stay in the game. They've already used 1 bridge and, like, 4 removal spells, so... Alright, good luck. Find something or you do, or you lose. If it's a land or any mill spell, they're dead. Okay. That does keep them alive. However, we do have Tricksters, Dismembers, and Lords that all push past it, so that sort of works for now. I guess, yeah. Alright, what do we find here? You put the onus back to us to find a thing. I mean, it's gonna take away their Ruin Crab, so this puts the onus back on them to do something. I could bounce and replay the Oboro, but I'm not really looking to get cute at the moment. Alright, opponent, now you have to find, like, a sweeper or a bridge. A mill spell is not going to do it. Nope. Okay, they concede. Finally, we are on the scoreboard. It only took, like, probably our best match in this meta to get us there. I don't know, like, Living End should be pretty close, but Mill is probably still better because they're just playing, like, bad control. It's like a burn deck, except, like, their burn spells don't actually... They don't kill your creatures, so... I guess this is okay. It's a little bit weak, but we have Dismember, so we're on the draw. They play Ragavan or something, we get to Dismember it. Snow-covered plains is not really what I want to see on turn 1. Like, there's not a whole lot. Okay, well, that helps. But still, like, this might be like a Taxes or Humans deck. Inkmoth. Oh, no, or, yeah, this is a Hammer Time. Okay, that's terrifying. Okay, cool. What are we doing with this? Sort of Fire and Ice. Okay, neat. My turn. Alright, how do I do this here? I don't have to be worried about the sword. Probably just play Harbinger. No, or I might want to keep that in hand. There's a lot of ways this can go wrong here. I don't think I'm supposed to dismember the Stoneforge. I don't really... All of these things are great, but I don't really want to waste them. Maybe I'm supposed to just play Hexcatcher and just see what happens. Do this now. There could be, like... There's some possibility of, like, doing it on their turn, I guess. But I don't know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to put Cauldra out here? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, I will take a hit from this thing and then just Harbinger the token away. Like, this is not a big deal. Lets me keep the Trickster for the Saga token. Deal. That's also pretty good. I can play the Dockhand here. Okay, so choice. I think I need to play the Dockhand, but I might want to use the Trickster. So I don't think I'm playing Vial. Well, there's also the possibility of casting Dismember, which means I need to Harbinger to bounce this token. I guess I could attack with the Hexcatcher and see if they block. I don't feel like they're going to. It's really risky for them to block this, so I don't think they will. Yeah, they're trying to do the calculations. Like, what are the odds that I have a lord, or if you block, this thing is gonna die? I don't think it's worth the risk for them. Like, we have so many lords, and this Violent 2 just means that it represents super danger right now. Taking 1 damage is pretty low, or pretty. It's not a huge cost to ensure the survival of the Ornithopter, but maybe they're gonna stream snipe me and just see that I don't have one, so that's possible, but who knows? I mean, if that's what if that happens, so be it. Okay, so they did not. They obviously think that I might have one, so they're not going to block it. All right. Yeah, I doubt that like my channel is big enough where anybody cares or knows that I'm streaming these to try and look it up, but that possibility always does exist. Oh, you know what? I could have played the Dockhand here, but I don't know. I was looking at keeping up both Trickster and Dismember. I think it was still probably correct to play the Dockhand. I don't think I need both of these this turn. Actually, maybe I do. Okay, they're gonna. Alright, maybe not. Like, this lets me tap this thing down. Okay, Spell Pierce is now potentially an option. I have to be careful about this. I'm okay. So this is gonna work out, I think. I just have to Trickster this. And I can just Dismember it. But I do have to be careful about Spell Pierce, so. Yeah, I agree. The risk reward says like blocking is just insane. Okay, well this is great. Now we can blow up this island, still hold up Dismember. It means we don't get this Dockhand in play, but that's okay. So there's another risk reward game here to be played, and that's if they have Blacksmith skill or Spell Pierce in their hand. I could Dismember the Ornithopter now, but then they can just equip this to the Stoneforge Mystic, which will attack me and get to kill my Hexcatcher. That would suck. If they don't have Blacksmith skill, then I should be able to Dismember this, and then Island Walk off the top might be enough to win. If they have the Blacksmith skill, then they will counter the Dismember and still be able to kill off the Hexcatcher, which is gonna suck. But I think I have to just gamble here, let them go to combat, and then try to kill this thing. Ooh, that's less than ideal. I'm guessing this gets the Shadow Spear. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see how they attack. Do you have it, opponent? They have Spell Pierce. Okay. It means I can throw away 2 things here in order to counter this, but they're almost certainly just going to ping this anyway. But the good thing is if I throw away 2 creatures, I get this. This gets to die. It's probably worth it. And sad as it is, I think the correct thing to do is get rid of the Hexcatcher here, because if I otherwise I can attack with both of these, but I can't attack with this. So Ornithopter dies. They can't re-equip Sword right now. They do have a Shadow Spear, which is pretty bad for us. So we really need a Lord right here to protect us. That actually does work, I think. Because when they go to re-equip this thing, we can just Trickster it down again. Okay. Guess we're playing the Vial here. They'd have to spend like their entire turn being able to use the sword. Image lets me copy Trickster, which means that they need 4 mana to throw this sword on a Stoneforge to be able to actually attack with it. And I think if they do that, they're dead. So it looks to be a winning line for us at the moment. Oh, fuck, they gave it hexproof. Alright, whatever. There's nothing I can do about that. Which means they can kill off one of my creatures now. But if I draw a Lord, I still think I win. If they kill off one of these, they have to block, right? So I guess they should. Yeah, it's not terrible for us, actually. We still, like, potentially can kill them. Like, they have to throw away a Stoneforge to this. Island Walk still lets us win. I think a Trickster still lets us win. That seems really dangerous. Okay, so only one of these has to get through. So a Trickster wins and a Lord wins, I think. Island Walk Lord. Okay. Dismember's also pretty good, too. Alright. Because they have to block, and then I just dismember this one. So. Okay, what's the alternative here? They can't tap that for mana at the moment. Alright, well, so here we go. They have 1 card left, so I'm worried about if it's another blacksmith skill or not. So I'm trying to think if there's a way I can play around them having blacksmith skill. So if I attack with everything and they have skill, they'll go to 2. They can protect the creature that I try to dismember, and then throw away 1 thing. They go to 1, and then we probably lose. I do have the option to Dockhand down the Silent Clearing. And if that happens, then I attack with both of these. Like, they probably have to block both of them. I dismember this one, and, like, that's still probably winning. I think I like this plan the most. Okay, so it looks like I don't think they have it. So, like, I could dismember this, one of these, but, like, I think that my best bet here is attack. They have to block at least 1. Okay, they're gonna throw away both creatures. That's kind of what I expected them to do. And then I just dismember this while they're tapped out. Okay, so they only have Inkmoth Nexus here, which is not going to be enough, I think. I think this was the cleanest way to try to force a path to victory. With 2 cards in hand, it seems unlikely that they could win here. They could get in an attack with Inkmoth and kill a creature, but I don't think that that's, yeah, now that's not even a line. They're yeah, drawing a card means that they are probably dead. Because the other threat was like I could just potentially like vial in another Hexcatcher. So yeah, then if they don't block both of them, a Hexcatcher would have killed them. So yeah, I think blocking both made sense to them. Whereas now, like, the sword could have, yeah, attacking with the Inkmoth and the sword takes up their entire turn and doesn't really do anything to help them. Um, yeah, we win. Okay, great. It was a tough match, but or I mean a tough game, but I think yeah we got there. Okay. What do we not want here? Probably Phantasmal Image is not that great. I'd say we can cut a Dockhand. You know what? Yeah, we might want to consider cutting more Dockhands. Oh yeah, we did. Oh, you know what? You're right. We did know that they had Shadow Spear. That's my bad. I should have remembered that. Okay, so then yeah, with just Shadow Spear in hand, then it should have been correct to just dismember one of their creatures. We could have instantly won. So good call. All right. Um. Okay, so let's think about. We need Spreading Seas. Okay. So I guess I'm cutting the 1-drops because I want to try to blow the 1-drops up. Do I want Mana Leak? Hmm. Mana Leak's not bad. Hmm. 25 creatures. It's actually kind of tough. If I want to bring in Mana Leak, I'd have to cut Dockhand and Hexcatcher for it. I could be overboarding a little bit too. Alright, well, you know what? We're going to run it back like this. This hand actually looks like it should be fine. We're going to keep it. Esper Sentinel, that kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? I know this kind of looks stupid, but I think I'm actually supposed to dismember this thing. Because I don't want to let them draw too many cards. Because there's no guarantee I'm going to draw another land next turn. Oh, fuck me, they just have another one. Alright. Oh, God. See, look, this is what I mean. Like, if I wouldn't have dismembered the first one, they'd be drawing, like, 3 cards this turn. Uh, there's only so much I can do here. I don't think I'm supposed to play Vial here. I'm pretty sure I'm just supposed to, like, flash in Trickster or something. Sigarda's Aid is not something I'm very happy to see. See, that thing I have to dismember. I really don't want to play the Vial here. And I don't want to play this Tide Shaper either. Because I need to save it in case they play a Saga, so I guess I'm just passing here and hoping that um this is gonna get bad. The alternate, like, I could play Trickster and then play a Vial, but I don't think that helps. And this was not a great start for us. Yeah, see, there's that. So I have to use this Tide Shaper next turn. I need them to attack with Esper Sentinel and not have the stupid hammer. Well, that is horrifying. Okay, so they're gonna try to equip it to one of these dummies. And I guess I just have to hope that they can't give it hexproof. Sure, another aid doesn't do anything. If we draw engineered explosives, I think we just win the game. Because we blow up literally their entire board. Okay. That has to go away. I kind of don't want to play the Otawara right now. Oh, well, I already have one in play, so this is only really a Lotus Petal for us at this point. This is another really awful scenario because, if I draw a land next turn, I might need to, like, play the land and then bounce this thing so that way the hammer doesn't kill us. We are in super danger, though, for sure. Again, drawing the explosives means that we still probably win the game. Eeks. That's bad. Yeah, I have to chump block this thing. Oh, being on the play, like, we would just be destroying them. They would not really have a chance here, I think. But being on the draw makes this so much worse. Ugh. This is just awful. Okay. I think this means I have to take a hit off of one of these things. Uh... And I'm just gonna have to force another hammer. If they attack with the Esper Sentinel, the Lord can still block it. But I think I'm taking this one to the face. Still looking for that explosives. That is enormously bad for us. Alright, so they can put the hammer on the Ornithopter, I guess. Now, I guess, yeah, like, it doesn't matter because each one of these is going to be lethal, so explosives or we die. We are dead. We don't have enough blockers for all of this stuff. Well, I mean, technically we do. Okay. have to play this. Keep this one. Let them attack with everything, I guess, and then... hope they don't draw anything. Okay, Ink Moth animating doesn't... No, Ink Moth animating, they can't do this at instant speed, right? So... this now doesn't matter. I have to just throw something. Oh, no, they can double animate it. That's right. Never mind. They give it flying by activating it again. So, yeah, we were dead no matter what there. Yeah, that sucked. What are you going to do? All right. Let me just run this back, I guess. Yeah, maybe being on the play this time we'll have a chance. Because I think if we were on the play, yeah, you're correct. I think we would have won that. But being on the draw sucked. All right, this is better. We have Tide Shapers, Lords, Vial here. We should be okay. Harbinger is also incredibly helpful. Actually, this might have been a hand where we wanted to play Mutavault first because there's a really reasonable chance we'd want to attack with Mutavault. But I guess if we draw an island, this will be fine because we can play the Lord. But I really don't want to play Tide Shaper unless like they play a Saga. Here's Thopter. It's, Giver of Runes. Ooh, that's bad. Alright, Dismember would be helpful. I guess that's sort of okay. Means I don't have to burn my Tide Shapers here, and it lets me dig for more islands. Alright, I guess that means I can just Vial one in a lot easier. Like, if they attack with Giver of Runes for some reason, Tide Shaper as a 2/2 can block it. Okay, well, that is fucking horrifying, because now we are in danger of them just hammering me. And it looks like they're going to. Yeah, there's a hammer, and I can't do anything because this Giver of Runes is just going to give it protection from the Harbinger. So, we're going to be forced to chump block this for a little while. Fuck, this is really bad. Okay. God. Okay. I think my best bet here is to Tide Shaper this land. I have to keep one Tide Shaper back to throw away here. Because we're at a point where, like, we're probably not beating a Saga anyway, so we have to... I think we have to race them. Okay. It having protection is not gonna help you right now. Why would you do that? There is no reason for that to happen. Like, they would have given us a window here to bounce this thing, but I assume that they would play correctly and that there's no chance that they would just do that, so... It can give protection from Mutavault, yes. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter, because they can just give it pro blue. Whatever, yeah, we're dead. None of this matters. We were fucked. Like, that was too good of a start. They had evasive, yeah, they had the Ornithopter plus the Aid plus the Giver plus the Hammer by like turn 2. So, what do you want? Like, that's their nut draw, and we didn't draw our sideboard card for it. Like, there were a number of places where drawing Engineered Explosives, you know, for one would have just like won us the game instantly, but we put them in the board to try to draw them, but sometimes, you know, they just have everything, so... I think we played about as well as we reasonably could have. There was like one minor mistake in, I think, the game we won, but yeah, that was rough. Hammers is always going to be incredibly like that. Like if their best hands are going to beat your best hands no matter what you do. You're looking to have for them to like have medium hands where like your medium hands can like race them, but their range of variance between like their best and worst hand is a lot greater than ours. So I think like when the hand variance is like closer to average, I think we have a better shot. But if they are just gonna keep a hand like that, then we're fucked. We can't really fight that. We need to like have outstanding draws to like have a chance against it. A single Harbinger was not gonna do that. And like the thing is, if they were missing any one of those components, like our hand was incredibly like, you know, able to race that, because we would have put a huge amount of pressure on them and killed them in like 2 turns, but they were able to kill us in 2 turns. This hand is terrible. All right, well, we're fighting for 50 points now. I gotta say, like, I don't think I really missed Svaelun, because I don't think Svaelun was going to change the outcome of any of the games that we played so far. So, I don't know what we're up against here. I kind of want to play the Dockhand. I guess I'm putting Harbinger in the bottom. Okay. Because Tideshaper might be important to actually use as an island. Or a Spreading Seas thing, sorry. This has just been a rough day, but part of it is just like getting back into it after a few weeks of not doing it, and part of it is just I feel like our opponents are just doing better in draws than we are. Which is, yeah, it is part of the game, so it's fine. Steam vents. Okay, so we might see like Ragavan. We do see Ragavan. Interesting. Which means I think I'm going to Trickster this thing down. So, or actually, I might even just use Trickster to block it. The other option is I could cast Tideshaper and turn this into an island. And they have to kill both creatures. Like, I don't think that they're doing that. Like, there's some possibility where, like, if we just pass here, Trickster could just destroy this thing. It might be safer to just play the Tideshaper, though. I kind of want to hold on to it in case I draw another land next turn. So I don't think I can attack. I think I'm going to try to let the Trickster eat this thing. So I assume they're going to attack and then use like Unholy Heat on the Dockhand, and then once they do that, then I'll flash in Trickster and then try to block this. Lightning Bolt, okay. Yeah, this went basically how I thought it would. No treasure for you. Oh, they only have 1 land. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, now we're definitely casting this Tideshaper. Take away their fucking red mana. They kept an incredibly greedy hand because they're like, Ragavan's going to get me treasures and I won't have to worry about it. Not today, Satan. That just pass. Yeah, that's right. Fucking pass. Ah, beautiful. I love it. Okay. Do I want to play Lord here or Hexcatcher? If they draw like a land and expressive iteration, that's going to be bad, but I think I want to play these Island Walk creatures now, because I want to keep the flash interaction for later. Spell Snare! Are you fucking kidding me? They're main decking Spell Snares here? Okay. Sure, you got me. Alright. Draw some more, like, not, yeah, don't draw lands for the next, like, 5 turns, why don't you? No! They found Scalding Tarn! Shit! That's terrible. Alright, I guess we're attacking with Tide Shaper and then probably just playing Harbinger of the Tides. I could just actually, you know what? I probably should just flash in Hexcatcher instead. I mean, it's possible they have more removal. Yeah, they might just blow up Hexcatcher. Or they might Unholy Heat this thing and save themselves some life. I guess they could have Counterspell. Maybe, I don't know. It was a little greedy to try to push for this extra damage here, but I don't know how much it's going to matter. If they cast Expressive Iteration, there's like a decent chance I will just force it. I guess they're not sure what they want to do about this. I mean, they did have to fetch Shock, which is kind of nice because it puts their life total fairly low here. But we are running out of cards. Opponent, what are you doing? Just do it already. So the thing is that, yeah, if they just played this and they cast Expressive Iteration, that means that the chances that they're going to find a third land are basically 0. So if I force that, then that'll waste their entire turn. So it's probably worth doing it. I am assuming that they had to walk away from the computer for a minute, so... Oh, here we go. Counterspell. Okay. Alright, let's hope they didn't draw the third land. No, they did. They ripped 2 lands off the top. What an absolute Chad. 1, 2, what are you, Ledger Shredder, I assume? It has to be it. Murktide Regent, okay. It's a 6/6, that's pretty scary. Okay, the odds are that they probably do have another removal spell. Or not, they just F6 through the turn, so I'm going to take that as a sign that they don't have one. If they didn't F6 through the turn, I would have actually guessed that they could have had removal here. Fuck, I can't afford to throw Harbinger away in the face of this thing. Because it's going to attack me, and I need to be able to Harbinger and bounce it. Mishra's Bauble. Okay, so they drew another land. So I'm guessing Land Bauble is what they... Yeah, they probably took that. So they... Okay. Which means they might not have more removal. They could have another counterspell, though. They didn't attack. Okay, so... That kind of says... If they didn't attack, then that kind of tells me that... Maybe... They... Okay, so let me get this vial in play. Not attacking means that they might want to use a removal spell and Master the Pearl Trident and try to block Tide Shaper. They did not F6 through this turn, so it is very possible that they could have interaction, so I'm not going to attack. I want to wait for this Murktide to attack me so I can bounce it. Because I think if yeah, we could potentially like just kill them in like one turn if they don't have anything. Okay, so they didn't have removal there. Interesting. Didn't find it. They use one, which means they still probably have like 5 or 6 more left. Okay, Ledger Shredder is not really a concern. What are you going to do here? Iteration? Okay. So they put Consider in the bin. That seems reasonable. I guess they're looking for a land with this so they can get to 5. They don't find a land. It's another safe attack with this Tide Shaper. They found Polluted Delta. Okay. Okay, so they attack with Murktide here. I'm assuming that means they found removal. I think we're taking up Vial here. So counter spells offline. The only thing that really matters for this is if they have another spell snare. Which I'm willing to bet they probably don't. However, the other option is I could potentially take like... Well, they have 8 here. I don't think that they could kill me. It's possible they could. If they cast like another Murktide Regent. Yeah, so 3 more cards, so this could become like 9. They cast like, or if they cast like a removal spell plus a bolt or something, it is possible they could reasonably deal 14 damage to me. I could put them to 4, like, safely. That is a concern, because this one will get bigger. This could be this could end up being like 10 by itself, and then if they have like Lightning Bolt plus Murktide, I'm probably dead. So this will be 13, yeah, like, and then they deal 3 to me. They might have Bolt and try to kill Master the Pearl Trident. And I could force it, which means they won't get this trigger this turn. Maybe, they could potentially have 4 for this, 3 for this, or I mean, this 10, 13. It's dangerous, like, yeah, because the only need is like another Murktide and 2 spells, so. But I need to find a way to kill them, and we do have the mana to, well, so the other thing is, like, if they have a counter spell, then that's really dangerous to us too. The thing is, I could play Harbinger now and just bounce Murktide Regent, but then that means attacking with Tide Shaper is not safe. Because they might just Bolt Master the Pearl Trident, and then we don't really have a good way to actually kill them. So they'll still be at 7 then. Well, no, they'd be at 6, right? Because I assume they would crack this Polluted Delta. If we don't attack, they don't have to, though, so... Yeah, we'd be in the position of having to top deck a Lord, where if we don't attack and we just, like... Or I guess if we do attack and they can crack the Delta, go to 6... try to like Bolt Master the Pearl Trident or Unholy Heat it. We force that. But then we're in a position where if they have a second Murktide and I think like if they have like a second Murktide and another spell to cast before it, like that could be enough, right? Because then they could be, yeah, 5. This could be 11, and then this could end up being 3 for casting 2 spells. So that, yeah, that seems so bad. All right, I think I have to take a chance. Either hoping that they don't have removal or they don't have Murktide. This has to work. Because if they have both, I think we're fucked. They are going to bolt. They're bolting the Tide Shaper. That's interesting. Do I care about that? That's not a line I considered. I assumed that they would have to go after Master of the Pearl Trident because then they could block it with the Ledger Shredder. If am I okay with this? Like, I could still play Harbinger and bounce Murktide, but then I only put them to 1. That might be okay. It means they can't attack me next turn. I think that the safest thing to do is actually let this bolt resolve. Okay, alright, like, they can't kill me this turn now, so... Now, if they have more removal, like, we're kind of screwed anyway, but... This gives us some better chances to prolong this game, I think. You can definitely recast Murktide, but... We are in a position now where, like, drawing another Lord means we can vial it in and protect it with Force of Negation on our attack, so that is possible. Or, like, Trickster could be enough to get through. Probably not Trickster, actually. Because I assume that they're probably not going to attack with this. If no, they could. It depends if they have another creature. If they attack with this and they only play Murktide Regent, like, then Trickster could actually just let us win. Or top decking a Lord means we would win, and then we could protect it with Force. No, they're gonna play Darcy. Okay, well that's bad. That means we are probably dying next turn. All right, but this is fine because this is giving us chances to win off the top. So I assume the last... No, they can't replay Murktide Regent with this, right? Like, if they play a land... They can't tap this for mana, because if they tap it for mana, they die. It's like the Harbinger will kill them. No, they're not attacking. Interesting. They didn't replay Murktide Regent. I feel real good now. Because if their plan is to just, like, use one bolt to try to stabilize, that's not going to work. Okay. So I think here we have to just attack and then, like, try to force. We'll play the Mutavault. Because then if they have, like, Spell Pierce or something, then we can win through that. Yeah, we attack with Island Walk. Hope that their plan is to just have one removal and that we can force it and then threaten to kill them again next turn. They didn't have it last turn, so I'm assuming that they probably, if they have any, it's only 1, and it doesn't look like it. They go to 1. Okay, that's good for us. Draw a card. Okay. We are in really good position now, because this thing has to attack, and we have 3 attackers. Plus, we can counter a removal. I feel like now we're almost definitely going to win here. Seems extremely likely. Like, I'm not sure what exactly they're hoping to cast that's going to make a difference right now, but they have to kill the Master of the Pearl Trident and then have at least two other blockers. Ragavan. Okay. Sure. I can block Ragavan. Consider. Okay. They're playing Ragavan as a blocker. Okay, so they didn't dash it. So I guess they're just trying to find a bolt or something. Because if they can't kill Master of the Pearl Trident, they're dead. So, oh, that's true. They could have recast Murktide so they didn't have to attack with this, but that doesn't look like that's an option on the table for them at this point. Yeah. Sure. Attack me for 7. That doesn't matter. You're dead. Like, this isn't gonna help you. You need 2 removal spells here, and this has to not attack. Like, this is pointless. I'm obviously not going to block anything, so... Playing Murktide doesn't do anything for you. I don't know what they're, like, hoping to do here. With one blocker, it's impossible. Even if they have 2 removal spells, like, you know, Force is going to counter one of them anyway, so... And that's assuming I don't draw anything relevant to Violin, so... Unholy Heat. Let's go ahead and Surveil. Well, I guess from their perspective, if they have 2 removal spells, they can hope to, like, kill Master, then kill Harbinger, and then block with Ragavan, but they didn't know we had Force of Negation, so... Now it literally does not matter what they have. This gets like, they can only remove one thing and block one thing, and the other thing's gonna get through, so... Okay, sure. You're tapped out, like, you die. Yeah, okay, cool. We win. Chalice. Yes. What did I say? I took out Dockhand last time. I think I brought in 2 subtleties. Yeah, image is, like, really iffy, but we'll see. I mean, I could have a 3rd subtlety instead of an image, but yeah, it's close. Subtlety's better in the late game. I think we can do that. That's fine. Or cutting the other Dockhand actually could be okay. No, you know what? I want to keep the one because yeah, I do like having Dockhand to, like, at least attempt to block Ragavan. So okay. Sadly we cannot keep this. This is much more keepable. Get rid of subtlety here. It's gonna suck against, like, turn 1 Ragavan, but a lot of stuff does, so. Unless we draw exactly Dismember right now. I'll probably just play this Phantasmal Image and copy Ragavan and just hope that they waste removal on it. It's really dangerous, though, because they can cast... Oh, they fuck. Well, okay, you know what? That's actually fine. They don't really want to be casting Lord of Atlantis here. That's super dangerous for them. So that's probably not getting cast. It really helps me more than it hurts them. Yeah, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay. Yeah, hate... This card is, like, the least fucking reasonable creature that has ever been printed. And, like, you have to be high on cocaine to think that that it's fine. Oh, God. They have a braid for the vial. Oof. That was less than ideal. Okay, well... None of these are particularly appealing options. Alright, let me think here. What's the best way to go about this? They have 3 cards. If they have removal, that's really bad. I could cast the image in this now. I mean, I assume that it's going to die. Like, I could try to flash in Hexcatcher, but I don't feel like that's going to go very well either. I think I want to set up for a turn where I play Tideshaper and Hexcatcher next turn. So I may as well play the image now and just force them to kill it. Yeah, the only way they could stop this is if they actually killed their own creatures here, so... It doesn't really matter that it has its ability here, because if they have any removal, it was going to kill any of our creatures regardless. Maybe game 3 will be fun, yeah. Maybe we'll get to keep a Chalice hand against this deck, like, one time. I mean, we do play 3 of them, so... It'd be nice. Especially if game 3 on the play, we just Chalice them on turn 2 and they don't have, like, a braid. That would be sick. Okay, well, if their hand is just, like, Murktides or something, then maybe this is okay. Actually, it's probably not okay. Nope, there's Unholy Heat. Okay. Sure. Now they found it. There's one of their cards that they had left, so... and then Ragavan's going to give them a treasure, and they... Assuming they have another Murktide, we are probably fucked. This card is just, like, so fucking devastating. There's an island that we're not drawing off the top, I guess. Hooray. Alright. Up here it comes. Murktide time. He's counting up the stuff in the graveyard. He's going to get, what, 3 counters on it? Yay! I don't feel good about this at all. They have 1 card, but would they have Baubles draws still left? I have to just play something. But we're going to die to this thing. Like, it's not even... Yeah, there's no question about it. So, yeah, it's looking like this is going to be a game 3. Like, if they just play removal in this, I think I just concede. Yeah, like, we're dead. We are fucked. Like, we're not beating this now. They had, like, the fucking best start they could have hoped for. Alright, it's... Alright, frustrating, but whatever. It is what it is. I'll bring in the other Subtlety. Mulligan. This hand is not really good either. They mold to 6. God. I'm gonna mulligan again. Like the. Oh, come on! Like, one land I could keep this. Like, I have to go to 4. Like, that's my only choice here. Fuck me. This is so bad. Lord is not really where we're at here. This is terrible. Alright, well. I guess Chalice is just never going to be a thing for us when we need it. Cool. Alright, pass. No, actually, I can attack here because I'm just going to Trickster this thing down, and I don't care if they block it. Oh, God, yeah. Uh, no, that was a mistake. I should have tapped it instead of trying to, like, block this thing. Because now if they have, like, an Unholy Heat, I'm fucked. No, they are letting me block it. Okay, so there's no removal, it looks like. Okay, that somehow worked out. It definitely should not have. There's no reasonable chance that that should have worked. There's a Shredder. Cool. Mishra's Bobble. Yep, Connive. That's great. I guess if we draw Chalice exactly right now, like, maybe there's hope. But probably not otherwise. Sure, go ahead. Look at the top card. What is it? Okay, well, I have to cast that, right? This, yeah, that has to be a thing. Get there, Tide Shaper. All right, like our plan is to try to get to a point where they're just gonna attack with a Murktide and we weather a hit from it and Harbinger it. So they haven't actually cast any spell or like any instance or sorcery spells yet, so okay, that's one. That's not terrible, I guess. I'll wait until their turn to cast it. I don't want to use the Harbinger yet. I don't know. It just felt like if I kept the 6 card hand, like that was gonna lose most of the time because we had it didn't look very good. Wait, I don't know. Like maybe like trying to use Harbinger with on their creatures was better. It just seemed really weak, and I thought I could do better. Okay, let's hope that they don't have more. That's where we're at. We're just like hoping that this works. Blue, blue. What are you doing here? Oh, they're petty theft. Okay, and if petty theft is the best they've got, then like maybe there is hope. Yeah, I should leave this over here. Nope, that's going away. which means the Brazen Borrower is probably getting flashed in at the end step. They only have one card left, so they have the Islet. Oh, fuck. Season Pyro is just terrible for us. Good old fucking 2-2 draw 2. Yay. Imagine if this was like a Merfolk card. That would be sick. If we could just casually have like a 3-mana 2-2 that just instantly like drew us 2 cards when we cast it, and like made Merfolk tokens from the graveyard, that would be ridiculous. Okay, so they just drew a land. Alright. What are the other cards here? That's not a good sign. Did you draw another Season Pyro? Oh no, what is this? Fury? They're drawing a card, okay. So maybe it's like Ledger Shredder. Oh, Blood Moon. Well, it is not reasonable for you to be boarding this card in. What the hell? I mean, it's going to work here, but like, this was a ridiculously like terrible choice. Like, you should not be bringing this in. I don't think they can attack. Like, that doesn't seem okay. Maybe they did want to. Oh, well, whatever. Here we go. Okay, well, I guess if they just don't draw anything, they're dead next turn. That's where we are at. So they have to find another removal spell, and they've already used 3. So they don't have one. They're dead to the lords giving each other Island Walk. And I feel like we deserve that right now. Oh, come on! That is such bullshit. No, how can that's not fair. We were so close to punishing them for this. They deserve to be punished for that. That is so ridiculously unreasonable. Alright, it's not over yet. I guess we're casting Harbinger of the Tides. I am not bouncing this. It's like, look at this. I have lots of basic islands and Aether Vial. You should not have Blood Moon against me. The only reason this is even remotely a game for you right now is because I mulled to 4. Sure, of course you top deck Fury. Why would that not be the case? God shits in my dinner once again. Ugh, no. Alright, we're dead. There was, like, nothing we could do about that. I don't know. Like, the 6-card hand we were looking at was just, like, okay. But it really wasn't great. Like, we didn't have, like, Vial or a Cavern or, like, Dismembers. It was just, like, a bunch of creatures that were really easy to pick off with removal or to counterspell. And I feel like in that particular game we might have actually won with that hand, but I feel like more often than not that hand would probably lose to them. So I was really hoping we could just mull to like a better 5 where it kept like maybe 2 lands and Chalice and like 2 creatures or something, which would have been totally reasonable. Or even like our 5-card hand would have been totally keepable with like 1 land and Vial in it. I think that would still be better. That sucked. And you know what else? Like, it was actually a pretty reasonable league for us too. Like, we had fairly good matchups, but like the fucking hands were just terrible on them. So I don't know. How do I feel about Phantasmal Image? This card, I don't feel like we got punished for playing it at all. I mean, Svelune is definitely fine against that deck, but would Svelune be better or worse than Phantasmal Image? Maybe slightly better against the Murktide deck. But there were opportunities for us to be able to use Phantasmal Image to help us out in certain situations, but I don't know. It didn't really feel like there was a whole lot of difference, so it could be that maybe we try this again at some point. But it's difficult to say because it feels like a lot of the decks are just like really fast, and you're not going to be grinding out as many games as we used to in Modern. So I could see something like this potentially working, where you keep the curve really low and aggressive. It does make you a little bit weaker against engineered explosives. That is true, and Svelune will help bail you out against that by being a 3-drop. But at the same time, I don't know that there's a lot of times where being a 3-drop means that by the time you play it, the game is kind of decided already. It's really slow and hard to actually push through. So I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's not. Maybe it just requires a little bit more testing. I still it is universally just unfair that that deck gets to get away with casting Blood Moon. As soon as they played it, we just had an island and it did nothing anyway, but they deserved to be punished for that because that was such a ridiculously poor decision. I don't know. If they had played basically any other card in that slot, it probably would have interacted and would have ensured that we were going to lose. But them playing a 3-mana do nothing card meant that we had a chance where we probably shouldn't have had one, being on 4 cards. But we still got real close, and we forced them to find the explosives right at the end. So I don't know. That's just how it goes some days, and we'll have to look at this and tweak it a little bit, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I guess the other thing to consider is, was Dockhand better or worse than Mistcaller? And for this league, it's actually not really clear to say. Dockhand is probably better against the Hammer decks and the blue-red Murktide decks, but the Mistcaller would have been a lot better versus the Living End deck. So maybe we should play 2 and 2 of them or something ridiculous like that. I'm not sure. That's another thing to consider. So a Mistcaller definitely has some value against those decks. Yeah, and Mill was just sure, that Mill is an easy dunk for us most of the time. So all right, well, that's all we got for today. So probably on Sunday again next week will be when we're streaming, unless something. There's a chance that it could be Saturday afternoon, but for the foreseeable, for at least the next few weeks, their schedule's probably going to have to adjust to be during the day on weekend. So that's just what works for me right now. So, all right, well, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I wish my return was going to be a little bit more exciting than this. So it's not really how I wanted this to go, obviously, but you know what? It's fine. We'll make adjustments and just keep at it until we find something that works. So that's all I got. I'll see you guys next time.